So this is about Amendment W, and I'll try not to get too far off base. I try to do some little fun thing in the beginning and then get into it. So Amendment W is election ballot format for judicial retention elections. And the election ballot format for judicial retention elections, they're not changing very much of this. So the vote yes on Amendment V, do not vote yes on Amendment, or vote yes on Amendment W, but know what you're doing, okay? So here is Amendment W, and just take a moment to take a look at this, okay? So right now, what you do is you have these kinds of questions here where they ask individual judges whether or not do you want this person to be retained, yes or no. And that's how it's supposed to be set up, or that's how it's being set up now. What they're trying to propose is to do it this way. This is nice, simpler, you know, it seems like it's streamlined. This seems like it's more, house cleaning than it is anything. This isn't really changing any policies. So what they're doing, instead of saying, you know, this long ass question and then asking each individual one yes or no, they're asking the question up here and then they're listing the names and then yes or no for the names. So it's house cleaning. It's really insignificant. It doesn't change policies. It doesn't change much of anything. What it does change is it changes people's perception. It changes people's minds. Should we keep the judicial retention elections the same way? Is there a problem with the retention elections? Is that why we're changing this? Yeah, there's a major problem with the judicial retention elections. They're just wanting you to rubber stamp decisions they had made behind closed doors. They put out this packet here, and there's 43 people that answered questions about these judges. Are they 43 locals? Are they 43 people that actually had dealings with them? If you really want to know how good a judge is, just sit in one of their court sessions, any one of the court sessions, and see if they're fair, see if they're respectful, see if they're nice. That's the way you would judge a judge. And then I hate the retention elections. What they do, okay, so this just for an example, in Castillo County, Kimberly Wood is the judge for Castillo County. That's the county judge. And, the county judge. So she's the one that does most Castillo County judging. She's the judicial branch. She is the main judicial branch. There's the 12th, judicial district out of Alamosa City. But for Castillo County, Kimberly Wood is the judge. Now, I don't know if she's been the judge for a while, but initially how she got the job is that the governor appointed her. And then she gets the job for 2 years. And then after 2 years, we have this retention election. And then the retention elections are for 6 years. So they're not asking, do you want Kimberly Wood or do you want, Ricky Rodriguez? They're not asking those questions. They're not saying Kimberly Wood or Ricky Rodriguez. What they're asking is, do you want Kimberly Wood? Yes or no? And people generally cheer for people. These retention elections, 70 to 80% is, they win them. But I would say most Coloradans don't even know who these people are. They don't even know who the hell these people are. And so let's just go with the Supreme Court stuff. Even in the newspaper, they said, well, here's your local judges, and then the other ones are just, so nobody's actually analyzing. So Richard L. Gabriel, he's for the Colorado Supreme Court. Ask a Coloradan who's running for Supreme Court. They will not say Richard L. Gabriel. They don't know who Richard L. Gabriel is. Something I would like to know that's nonpartisan. What the hard thing about asking judges any questions, they have ideas, they got opinions, they give opinions about shit all the fucking time. So that's, I would love to know where they stand on different issues, but they try to play, well, I'm neutral and non-biased, so I have no opinions. Yeah, right, bullshit. So that means you're on the side of the oppressors. The other question, which I think is a fair question, what is the law? Okay, what is the law for Castillo County? I understand it as the land use, the comprehensive plan, the U.S., and the Colorado Constitution. If I read those 4 documents, will I have an understanding of the law? How does Kimberly Wood understand the law of Castillo County? What does that term mean? Castillo County law, what does that mean to Kimberly Wood? That's a fair question, and that's a good, it'd be nice to hear these judges actually explain these things and talk about these things, have some kind of forum or something. But instead, they stay quiet. They are lawyers. Only lawyers can be judges, which lawyers are liars anyway, so great. We're only allowing liars to be judges. And they stay quiet. They lie in wait. They get their appointments. When they're in the position of power, then, do they do a good job? Don't they do a good job? I have never seen a judicial system that actually works. To be honest, nobody I know goes to the judicial branch to resolve their disputes. And if the cops accuse you, then it's automatically you're a criminal, and that's it. So you don't use the damn court system for anything. The court system only hurts you. If you have a good lawyer, right? If you're able to afford a lawyer, maybe you might have a court system. If you have a judge who respects the citizens who don't have lawyers, then maybe you get some justice. But for just on principle, Again, I don't know Kimberly Wood. I don't know how she judges. On principle, I would not retain Kimberly Wood. I'm not going to retain any of these judges. I'm going to say no to every single one of them because I hate the question. You're asking me, you went ahead and appointed this person, and then you went ahead and analyzed this person. You're giving me a book, and you're sitting there saying this is who they are. I don't believe you. I don't believe in any of this. And then you're not telling me, you're not giving me an either or choice. So for the rest of us, for the mayors, for the city council people, for the commissioners, we got to run against somebody else. If somebody else runs against us, then we have to run against them. But for the judges, they never have to run against anybody. So they never have the competition. They never have the scrutiny. The question that's presented to the voters is, do you want this person or not? So if we say no, does that mean we don't get a judge? If we don't retain the person, as a scientific experiment, we've never said no as a state of Colorado for 50 years or however long this thing has been going on. So it's 1966. So that's what? 34 plus 18? Yeah, for about 50 years. For the last 50 years, none of the appeals court justices have ever lost. Nobody in the appeals court. So the people that are running in the appeals courts, they're going to win. I bet you all these guys are going to win. John Daniel Daly. Oh, I bet you love him, don't you, Colorado? Oh, Rebecca Rankin Fiery. Oh, I bet you love her. Elizabeth Harris, David J. Richmond. You love these people, right? Because you're going to re-elect them, by 70 to 50%. Meanwhile, or 70 to 80%. Meanwhile, Jared Polis is going to be the governor, and he's going to get elected by what, 55%? So really, we love our judges, and we don't really care about our governor. If you look at the numbers, if the numbers mean anything, what I think the numbers mean about judicial elections is that the people are very obedient to authority. They want to keep the system as is. It's about status quo. They are very right-wing Republicans when it comes to keeping the things as the same when it comes to them. And they're stupid. They think that they're, making a decision as if like yes or no. Everybody's going to say yes. So you saying yes, you have no power. You have no power whatsoever. You only got power if you say no. If you say no, let's see what happens. As in the scientific experiment, I don't like to question. You want me to rubber stamp your decisions and then give this person 6 more years? They're already powerful and rich. So you want me to vote to give a rich and powerful person more power and more riches? So fuck the election. Fuck the retention elections. Now, I say vote yes for this Amendment W. It does look cleaner. It looks nicer. But I vote yes because it's a change. It's a first baby step to a massive change to unraveling this entire judicial retention election. So it's a step in the right direction. It's a baby step. We're changing it finally, but we're not changing it the way it needs to be changed. We're just kind of cleaning it up a little bit. So vote yes for Amendment W. Vote yes for Amendment V. Vote no for Amendment X. Vote yes for Amendment Y. Yes for Amendment Z. Yes for Amendment A. Vote yes or no for 74. I don't know. Vote yes for Proposition 109. Vote yes for Proposition 111. Vote yes for Proposition 112.